Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let's all pray to our God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us His mercies and blessings, so that we can attend and gather in this place in good condition and healthy situation, inshallah. Secondly, may peace and salvation always be given to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us from darkness to the brightness and from the Jahiliyyah era to the Islamic era, namely the Islamic religion of Allah. And the Honorable Mrs. Fatih Paramida, who is the principal of Ideal Boarding School Ahwal, and also the Honorable to you guys, who is willing to listen to my speech about Rasulullah's journey to Madinah. But before I begin, I would like to introduce myself first. So my name is Dewi, and you can call me Dewi. And now let's just start with my speech. After the Isra Miraj event, and Rasulullah SAW returned to Mecca, many of his followers did not believe him. In fact, they chose to apostatize and consider Rasulullah crazy. But another case with Abu Bakr, who actually believed and always confirmed the words of the Prophet. This makes the Quraysh infidels' hatred even worse against the Prophet ﷺ. They did not even hesitate to stop the Prophet ﷺ with the lure of treasures. Even so, his effort failed. They could not stop the Prophet ﷺ from spreading Islam. Thirdly, stopping the Prophet ﷺ, the Quraysh infidels were increasingly cruel to him and his followers. They did not even hesitate to expel the Muslims from the city of Mecca, in the hopes that Rasulullah would change his mind. The cruelty of the Quraysh infidels were the reason why Rasulullah bring the Muslims to go to Yathrib, or now known as Madinah. They traveled secretly far from the Quraysh infidels. The disbelievers of Quraysh also threatened to kill and chop alive the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and also his followers. Not only that, they were also boycotted in commerce and trades, until making the followers of Muhammad ﷺ suffer in difficulties and had nothing. They can do nothing but surrender their faith and survival to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, until finally the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made a hijrah from his homeland to the city of Madinah based on the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 218, Allah says, and it means, "Verily, those who believe and those who emigrate and strive in the cause of Allah, they expect the mercy of Allah. Allah is forgiving and merciful." So, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and all his followers obeyed the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they left their hometowns and collected the remaining wealth that they had to be spent in the way of Allah. When they have really hated in His way, then more and more sustenance is bestowed on them. Their life and da'wah grew even more, and their achievement, prosperity, success, and glory spread to Mecca. Even when in Medina, the arrival of the apostles and the Muslims were welcomed by the people in Medina. In the book Exemplary Source Throughout the Ages, Rasulullah and the Companion by Sheikh Muhammad Yusuf, the first person to see the arrival of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was a Jew. At that time, the Jew was on his roof and saw the arrival of Muhammad ﷺ and the Muslims. And after that, he immediately shouted loudly to inform the people in Medina that the arrival of Muhammad SAW was there. The people of Medina immediately came out and went to the city limits to welcome them. However, the people had never seen the form of the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At that time, the Ansar immediately came and greeted Abu Bakr radiallahu anha because they thought that Abu Bakr radiallahu anha was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Bayhaqi has narrated in Madinah from Aisha radiallahu anha, which she said, when the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Abu Bakr arrived in the city of Madinah, the people were so happy that many women and children recited poetry. The full moon has appeared over us coming from the hills. Thaniyatil wada must be prayed for us and for his invitation to Allah. MashaAllah, this is the hijrah, the story of Rasulullah to go to Medina. And so maybe that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm very sorry if there's any mistakes in my speech or any words that's not really clear enough for you guys. I'm sorry again. So maybe that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.